Welcome to today's World News Update for May 10, 2023. Here are the most important stories from around the globe. Evidence of Ice Age human migrations from China to the Americas and Japan. US says disabled Russian spyware used for 2 decades. French Parliament designates Wagner a terrorist group. Polish mayor falls to death from hotel balcony in Sardinia, Italy. The last female Yangtze giant softshell turtle is dead. Pearson taking legal action over use of its content to train language models. Canada will not be intimidated by China retaliation. Microbes discovered that can digest plastics at low temperatures. How Russia is staging fake protests in Europe to discredit Ukraine. Stay informed and stay safe, and join us tomorrow for more world news updates. World News TLDR, May 10, 2023. Evidence of Ice Age human migrations from China to the Americas and Japan. The study found that the Asian ancestry of Native Americans is more complex than previously thought, with evidence of at least 2 migrations from northern coastal China to the Americas, one during the last Ice Age and another during the subsequent melting period. The study traced the lineage of an ancestral group using mitochondrial DNA and identified similarities in how stemmed projectile points for arrowheads and spears were crafted in China, Japan, and the Americas, suggesting a genetic connection. The study also uncovered an unexpected genetic link between Native Americans and Japanese people. US says disabled Russian spyware used for 2 decades. The U.S. Justice Department has said that it disabled a sophisticated malware network that Russia's FSB intelligence agency has used to spy in 50 countries, including a NATO ally, for the last 2 decades. The malware was dubbed Snake or Ouroboros and was inserted into computer systems around the world, mainly focused on government networks, research facilities, journalists, and other targets. In a years-long operation, the FBI was able to defeat Snake by inserting its own bit of computer code into it, which caused the malware to overwrite itself. The FBI then developed a tool dubbed Perseus, which made the Russian malware ineffective. French Parliament designates Wagner a terrorist group. The French National Assembly has voted to designate Russia's paramilitary Wagner group as a terrorist organization, in a non-binding resolution. All lawmakers present voted in favor of the resolution, which calls on the European Union to register Wagner on the EU list of terrorist groups. The move follows several rounds of sanctions from the EU against the group. Benjamin Haddad, an MP belonging to Emmanuel Macron's Renaissance Party, said the resolution aimed to reinforce legal tools against Wagner and send a political and symbolic message. Haddad argued that putting Wagner on the EU list of terror organizations would deal yet another blow to the group, as it would reinforce systematic tools against the organization, meaning anyone linked to Wagner could be prosecuted on terrorism charges. Wagner has been accused of targeting French interests in Africa, where Paris's influence is waning. Polish mayor falls to death from hotel balcony in Sardinia, Italy. A Polish mayor named Radosław Ostakiowas died in Italy after falling from a 4th-floor window of a hotel in the Sardinian village of Cagliari. Ostakiowas was visiting Cagliari with the Polish delegation when he fell from the window of a room in the Due Colonnade Hotel. The death is not being investigated as a suicide or involving any violence, according to a spokesperson for the Cagliari police. The 44-year-old was the mayor of Jaworz, a village in southern Poland, and his death was described by the municipality as a tragic and unfortunate accident. The last female Yangtze giant softshell turtle is dead. The discovery of a female Yangtze giant softshell turtle in Dong Mo Lake in Hanoi, Vietnam in 2021 offered hope for the revival of the species, which had dwindled to just 1 male living in a zoo. However, the female turtle was found dead on the shores of the lake in April 2023, leaving just 2 surviving male turtles. Decades of hunting, dams, and pollution have fragmented and killed off almost all of the remaining turtle populations, and the species extinction is not yet certain, but seems the most likely possibility. The turtle's natural habitat has been degraded, polluted, and dammed, and even if another female turtle were to surface, the chances of reviving the species would be slim. The Yangtze giant soft-shell turtle is a unique and strange species, resembling an animated cowpat with stubby, wrinkled limbs and a head that can retract almost entirely into its neck or extend like a periscope above the water. Pearson taking legal action over use of its content to train language models. Textbook publisher Pearson is taking legal action against a company for using its intellectual property, IP, to train artificial intelligence, AI, models, according to CEO Andy Bird. The company has also sent a cease and desist letter, although the identity of the recipient was not disclosed. Bird said Pearson would consider licensing its IP in certain circumstances. The comments came as Pearson unveiled plans to launch AI-generated multiple-choice questions to help students, as well as summaries of educational videos. The company's share price fell by 15% recently following concerns over competition from rival ChatGPT. Canada will not be intimidated by China retaliation. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has said that Canada will not be intimidated by China's tit-for-tat diplomatic expulsions, following the expulsion of a Chinese diplomat from Ottawa over allegations related to foreign interference. China responded by asking a Canadian diplomat to leave Shanghai by May 13. The row has simmered since the detention of Huawei executive Meng Wanzhou in 2018 and the subsequent arrest of 2 Canadians on spying charges by Beijing. Some fear that the latest flare-up could have economic repercussions for Canada, as China is the country's second biggest trading partner after the United States. Microbes discovered that can digest plastics at low temperatures. Scientists have discovered microbes in the Alps and the Arctic that can digest plastics at low temperatures, potentially revolutionizing microbial recycling. While many microorganisms can break down plastics, they usually require temperatures above 30 C, making them expensive and not carbon neutral. However, researchers from the Swiss Federal Institute WSL found 19 strains of bacteria and 15 of fungi capable of digesting plastics at 15 C, which could significantly reduce the environmental impact and cost of plastic recycling. The best performers were 2 uncharacterized fungal species in the genera Neodavresia and Lachnolula that could digest all tested plastics except for polyethylene, PE. The next step for the researchers is to identify the plastic-degrading enzymes produced by the microbial strains and optimize the process to obtain large amounts of proteins. How Russia is staging fake protests in Europe to discredit Ukraine. According to an investigation by Le Monde and its partners, Russian intelligence services have been staging fake protests across Europe to discredit Ukraine and its allies, including NATO and the EU. The investigation found that the same individuals were seen at multiple demonstrations across different cities, spreading the same message aimed at discrediting Ukraine and its allies. The demonstrations were captured on camera and shared widely on social media platforms such as Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Internal documents from Russian intelligence services obtained by Le Monde confirmed that they were behind the operation.